on one box of export to Africa, and like today they are doing hundreds and 200 containers a month. Africa is the underrated country that not a lot of people are looking at. The trade with Africa is increasing day by day, and it has its own challenges, but it has its own opportunities as well. And that is exactly the problem that we solve because
Hello everyone, my name is Jugal Jain, and today with us we have Mr. Karan Jain. He is from Exim Transtrade, and he, as a second generation leader, has been leading business development for the Africa market. So, Karan, please tell us a little about yourself.
So I joined Exim 5 years back, and I entered Exim during COVID times, and I, got to see a very different picture of what logistics really means and how much it adds to people's life around. And since then, I have been developing the India-Africa trade channel, and we have been growing along with the growing trade between the two countries, and as well as all the cross country shipments that happen to and from Africa. And it has been especially interesting to me to learn, the challenges and how African trade works, and take our legacy of 35 years of serving African continent forward. And yep, that's about it.
So, people, when they're asked the question that what's the next upcoming industry or the next upcoming market, people don't specifically talk about any specific commodity or a product. They talk about Africa as something that's an upcoming market in general. So, what are your thoughts about that?
Yes, right. So, what we have learned all through our journey with Africa, like we started with customers who are sending one carton or one box of export to Africa, and like today they are doing hundreds and 200 containers a month. And the growth potential that we have seen in Africa all these years, and what we know is going to be the potential for the next few decades. Africa is the underrated country that not a lot of people are looking at, and it has its own challenges, but it has its own opportunities as well. If you are able to, crack the code, and if you're able to give the logistics services that Africans really need today, or people in Africa are suffering with a lot of challenges today. If you're able to solve that problem, then you have a lot of potential to, increase your business by multifolds. And the trade with Africa is increasing day by day, and there are new delegations coming, and the volume projections for the next 5 years are looking very positive.
Hmm. So, what's something as Africa people overlook about the country?
So, a lot of people are skeptical when it comes to dealing with Africans or doing business in Africa because of the lack of, organized infrastructure for finance, for logistics. And that is exactly the problem that we solve because, as it is, Africa is a very demanding country, and the population is growing very strongly, and the people in Africa are, deprived of basic necessities which can be, provided to them if we can solve a few logistical problems in the country. So that's why we are expanding into African countries, and we are offering inland services to our customers in Africa and India as well. And that's why we have come up with the door-to-door service, or the D2D service by Exim, where we handle the shipment from the factory door to the of the supplier to the factory door of the importer. This is how we are trying to, be a small part of the solution towards African trade. And yeah, that's how we see Africa today as.
Yeah. Supply chain often is very overlooked by a lot of people around, not knowing that each and everything that they use, they wear, they eat has been a part of the supply chain somewhere. And when you talk about bringing it that change as a sustainability option or as something towards a social entrepreneurship side, each container, I believe, when you're exporting, can actually be calculated in terms of the number of plates that it could feed the
Yeah,
people in Africa.
that's right.
So, so walk me through the actual journey. What is the actual design concept behind D2D by Exim, and how do you wish to cater it to the people who would like to avail the service of this?
So there are many exporters in India and around the world today who are not able to get a proper channel to expand their business into Africa. And also, our recent visits to Africa, we realize that there are a huge number of people back there in Africa who are willing to, import from other countries, who are willing to make their lives better, and who are entrepreneurial. The new generation in Africa, they are very
Mm,
entrepreneurial, and they are very keen on uh, trading and importing goods to Africa, but they don't have the proper supply chain in place to do so. So this is where we come in, and we serve those people who are really in need of our services, and we try to do it best. So we connect the our African customers, we represent them in India, and we represent our Indian customers back in Africa. And we have formed a strong channel of supply chain in major African countries, and we are providing inland services, financial services, and almost all the problems that today Africans and Indians face during the trade, we are trying to solve all of them.
interesting. So if I tell you I have a container load of cargo sitting at my factory, you can completely pick it up from my factory and deliver it directly to the warehouse in Africa, and you can act as a one-stop solution for me, a single window entry to pass on my worries to you, and you'll take care of my worries.
Yes, that's exactly what we do. Basically, we believe that supply chain is not a part of manufacturing, logistics, exporting. It should be a different line of business altogether.
Mm,
So we we push manufacturers and traders to focus on their businesses, which is manufacturing or cracking the deals, and we focus on execution of the shipments,
right.
and we do it well. So people, and since 35 years, have been relying on our services. We have been serving a lot of customers who are uh, who have joined us 30 years, 3 decades back, and they are still exporting through us.
Mm,
And that is the trust we carry, and that's why any value of cargo or any kind of cargo, be it hazardous, be it agro commodities, majority of chemicals, all the machineries, all the big machine parts and transformers that go outside containers as well, we do expertise in all of that cargo.
mm,
And all our team members are also well versed with any documentation requirements or any inspection requirements, fumigation requirements that may arise in any specific African country, and maybe you are not aware of it. So that's why we are always there for our customers on every step of the shipment to guide
right.
them correctly, and to so that their documentation is in place and the cargo doesn't get stuck on the way.
Mm. So you talked about a lot of types of cargo. So what are your top three favorite cargos and why?
So personally, I have been very fortunate in the chemical industry, and we have onboarded a very good set of customers who are exporting and importing chemicals in India.
You like
And
playing with danger.
yeah, we like playing with danger as it goes. And we also have the certified staff to handle these IMDG cargos. And then it comes the always the challenge is always more fun to execute. Like it's not a day-to-day task, but a very different logistical challenge that we face.
Mm,
That's where the fun lies in the industry.
yeah.
So that's where we are always looking for opportunities, and it's always more rewarding when it's more challenging.
Mm,
And Africa especially is a very challenging terrain to navigate, so it's equally rewarding as well.
yeah. No, that's true. That's true. People think about logistics as just take it from somewhere and put it somewhere, but the execution and the operations that goes within handling the entire journey from A to B involves so many formalities that
Yeah,
you need to take care between both the countries. And from
that's
what you
right.
say, it feels that Exim does a really great job at helping the clients achieve that. So that's really good to know.
Yeah.
So I'd like to ask you next that why should African businesses trust Exim over any other freight company?
So Exim has been in the industry since 33 years now, and we have been, a very important player when it comes to African trade and Indian trade. So since our inception, we have focused on Africa, and we have done huge volumes for African ports from India,
Hmm.
and we still do a good volume of business between India and Africa, US and Africa, even China and Africa. And it's almost, Exim has become synonymous to Africa. Like everyone in the industry knows us as African freight forwarders, or the one of the few players who have succeeded and expertised in this trade lane.
Hmm.
So the people working for us, they have been working since so many years, and they have know-how of every detail in the shipment, and they know the consequences of any actions that we make here. And serving both sides of the customer has we don't just we don't just ignore the shipment once it's sailed out of anywhere. We have to make sure the shipment reaches on time,
Hmm.
because the customer waiting at the other end as well is dealing with us and knows us well, and we have to keep our services to that mark.
Yeah.
So when it comes to trust, then it's maybe the goodwill, and the people who are already working with us, they will be better answerable to you for this question. Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you so much for your time, Sean. It's been a really good conversation. So, for our viewers, if you would like to reach out to us, we'll have the details in the caption or right now on your screen. So, feel free to reach out to Exim. Feel free to reach out Karam. We look forward to talking to you with you next time.